Today we're going to go over the major features of the TotalCAE platform. TotalCAE makes it easy to use HPC clusters and cloud by giving you a simple to use interface that submits hundreds of applications in just a few clicks. The total solution is completely managed by TotalCAE, whether it's in your data center, a cloud data center, or hosted by TotalCAE. Everything is supported in just a few clicks. You'll be off and running. So the first thing you'll do when you log in is you're going to see all your applications on the left. We support about 100 and some applications, but these are the ones that this particular lab has been supports. So first thing we'll do is we're going to pick our input deck. I could choose to upload it here from my PC, or if I've already uploaded it, I can just click on the file and then select the main input deck. I will then choose the number of CPU cores, so I'm choosing 176 CPUs, and then I just have to push the button. That's pretty much it. Just a few clicks, and I have just submitted this Ellis Dyna job. It is now going to be scheduled on the cluster nodes. So this is a visual representation of the nodes. The ones that are gray are busy, and the ones that are green are free. You can see how many licenses are being used of the application on the cluster, how many CPUs are consumed by various users, and then various types of machines, including GPU or other types of specific kinds of machines. Then when I click List Jobs, I can see the list of jobs that are currently in the queue. This is the job that I just submitted. I can see some data about it, like which machines are running on. It's running on 5, 6, 7, 8, which we saw in the status tab, those machines. And then I can also see the state it's running, what time, how long it's been running. I can look back at other data. For example, with Ellis Dyna, we were able to see how much time's left on the simulation by interrogating the application. So I can see there's 1 hour and 36 minutes left on this simulation. Now you can totally control everything inside on this job list. I can actually cancel it. I can choose to set jobs at different levels of priority if they're queued. I can also have application-specific integration, like these ascent switches, which tell Ellis Dyna to choose specific actions when we enter them. So depending on the app, you'll see different menu items that let you contextually do things that application has in terms of controls. Now in the cloud, we have some cloud-specific features, mainly around the cost of renting. So when you go to use the public cloud, we support both AWS, Azure, Oracle, and we're hosted. You can basically specify how much each job will cost and a maximum cost you want to spend. So if you think a job might take, for example, 2 hours, you could put in 3 hours just to make sure that job doesn't go over what you thought you would spend on it. You can also then choose from various projects to build this job against so that you can keep your budget, your simulation inside of your project budget. You could have one or more projects that you're associated with to bill against. Then of course you can put in comments that will show up not only in the queue list but in your billing report. So when you get the Excel report out of our billing system, it'll show you all your jobs, their costs, and the comments so you can remember why you did this simulation when you're trying to look at where your project budget went. Another interesting feature of TotalCAE that helps clients avoid spending too much money on cloud systems is the CAE Watchdog. While a job is running, TotalCAE is constantly examining the output of the application, looking for common problems that specifically might happen in the particular app. For example, I see here in this job listing that CAE Watchdog has flagged this job 69 is having a problem. It says, hey, look, no output files from this application have been written in the last hour. So in this case, if Ellis Dyna has not written any D3 plots, maybe there's something wrong. It could be stuck. Maybe it's just taking a while to output it, but it's an abnormally long time. And so you're going to get an email when this happens. So if there's something going wrong, you're not spending money, tying up the compute nodes in your licensing when the job isn't actually making any progress. So we check for all kinds of problems that we've seen in the last 20 years of supporting all these different applications. And so this application specifics monitoring digs through the output for you to try to find common problems and alert you before they start costing you too much money. So this comes included in our system, and it's also helpful in on-premise systems. If you're not able to monitor their job constantly, like let's say on the weekend, you'll get an email something is going wrong with an important job that you might have been running to free you from having to constantly be checking on it. So this technology is unique to TotalCAE and comes with our platform. You can also see the licensing that the application is using. TotalCAE automatically calculates the license usage, requirements for the job when you submit it, and then it will queue the job if there's not enough licensing, and lets you do license-aware scheduling and optimization. Now you may want to, before you submit the job, have it run right away, and maybe if you're license limited, you'll want to see how many free licenses you have. So in this case, I have 780 free, so instead of submitting a 781 core job, maybe I'll do 780 because I knew it would start right away and not have to queue on that one license. If I'm curious who's running it, you can always double click on these and then it'll show you exactly who's using the license of the particular feature you're looking for. Now we have some advanced features. For example, you can, if you choose a quality of service, that's like a priority. If you have a hot job, you can choose to run it as high priority, so it'll skip ahead of the queue. Or make sure that other jobs don't block you from obtaining the licenses or hardware you need. We also have the ability to target specific nodes. So generally, the system will automatically pick the correct hardware for your job for you to free you from having to worry about it. But if you want to pick a particular node, let's say you want this GPU node, you can target a specific class of machines with the run on. We also have quite a popular option that if you have a job that for whatever reason maybe it consumes all the licensing for your company, so you want to wait to the weekend so you have nobody complains that you're pulling all the licenses, you could submit it right now but tell it to wait until Friday at 5 o'clock, so that way none of your licenses are being that way you can submit it now, but it won't be considered to run until the time that you've specified. Now we are able to have a wide variety of post-processing tools. For this particular application, we are supporting FemZip, which does application-aware compression, LS Pre-Post, Oasis, HV Trans, and then just Zip. And you can have your own custom post-processing, but just by selecting this button, you can automate so all the post-processing happens automatically, so you can produce reports, do compression, generate pictures, whatever it is you need to do, we can make the whole workflow end-to-end automated. Now the other item that's quite popular is while you can use this portal to do all this job submission, you could also use the command line. So we have this command line tool called tsubmit to submit the same Dyna job with just 88 cores. We basically just use this tsubmit command, you push the button, and then it submits just like the portal does. It's very popular for doing like design of experiments or hooking up with third-party tools such as RSM or 3D Experience. You can also use it to integrate into your own code to submit jobs quickly, and you can do everything at the command line that you could do in the portal, and gives you just another tool in your toolbox. So we can see I just submitted this job 69 and it is running right now, and it looks and feels just like it was submitted through the portal. All the same options that you see on the portal page are available through the tsubmit command line, and it has built-in help so you can see which options that you need to choose. Finally, a popular submission feature is often you might have a lot of includes that you may have to gather to submit to a cluster or to a cloud system. Now, instead of making you find all the includes, many customers will have includes on network file shares that don't exist on remote systems. And then they have to go through and find where they all are, try to pre-process them, try to get them so that they can run on a remote system. Well, with TotalCAE, we include this flattener code. It'll take your input deck, scan all the includes, rewrite them to be all relative, and then create a new zip file that you can just upload to our portal. So just run the flattener, then I can just simply choose to upload this zip file here, and then submit it. And then once I'm running, it all runs. I was able to save a ton of time not having to go through and find out where all my includes are worry that I might have different network paths to those includes than exists on the system. You really don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is run the flattener, upload the zip with all your files, and then push the button and you're good to go. So I'm going to just grab this zip file that came up and hit submit, and that's it. I've just submitted that job. Now let's go through a couple of the other tabs that we have on this TotalCAE platform. All the data that I've submitted through this platform is being categorized and automatically tagged inside of an automatic filing cabinet we call the data Marshal. So this is an optional feature that without the user having to take any extra steps, all of the simulation data is automatically stored for them in a special container, and then it's tagged with the versions of the software, everything that was needed to recreate the simulation, and any other extra metadata you may like to capture, for example, materials or other types of things. And then if you need to search on that data, days, months, or years later, you can always go through and click search. And if you can remember anything about the simulation, for example, maybe I remember it was something, the description had the word benchmark, and maybe I can remember something about the file name or anything like that. But if you search, then it'll take you to all of the things it can find that match your search criteria. It's kind of like Googling on your data. And then you can go to that folder and then choose if you wanted to download those results, to resubmit them, or do what you like. So this is a great way, instead of sifting through terabytes of data to find stuff years later, that we will automatically categorize it and tag it and organize it for you on job submission, so you don't have to do any other tasks or any extra steps to gain the benefit of basically having your closet organized for you. So it's very popular in some industries where they need to go back and find data. Maybe they want to say, well, this material, we need to find all the simulations we did with this material because we found a defect, or so on and so forth. That you have a reason to need to go back to find old data and find out how it was done to maybe recreate a simulation. You'll have all that data to go back and redo it. The other tab that we have is an analytics tab. So inside of our system, you'll be able to see, for example, real-time usage of the machine. So you can find out, did my job seem to not be behaving right? Was it because it ran the machine out of memory, or maybe the distribution of the processes wasn't quite right? So our team will use this when we're managing your cluster or cloud to help go back and look at what happened to jobs, and you could use it too to help you debug. The other thing that we have is some metrics around how the cluster or cloud utilization is. So if you wanted to say, I'm curious how how busy my cluster is, I could look and zoom in to say, okay, we're pretty busy here. You could then see why were jobs, why wasn't I at 100%? How much workload was pending because I need more hardware? Or perhaps you have enough hardware and you need more software. How do you know? Well, we give you analytics on the licensing as well. So if we click on the licenses tab, you're going to see that, how much licensing did you need? Well, it looks like we needed, we had plenty of Dyna licensing, that we did use this peak here. Maybe we need less licensing because we really most of the time use this peak. You can go back and, select whatever time scale you need to determine how many licenses are the optimal amount based on the usage. We also help you see how much storage you're using, so you can determine, do you need more storage, or if you run out of storage, or you need to clean it up, what directories are consuming it, which groups and users are taking up the most space. So you can either save costs by cleaning that up on premise, or if you're using a cloud system, to reduce your cloud bill by cleaning up unnecessary storage. Thank you for contacting us. For more information, reach out to sales@TotalCAE.com.